So a new article came out today by Tim Clark over on PC Gamer where they got to sit down with some devs from Bungie and ask them some burning questions about certain changes coming in Lightfall, and I wanted to share that info in today's video. They say there are so many big changes coming to build crafting in Destiny that my head has been spinning. Last week Bungie began detailing the huge overhaul that's been made to armor, mods, champions, and several other systems when Lightfall arrives on February 28th. Inevitably, I had a bunch of follow-up questions, the kind of nerdy stuff you care about when you're 5 years and many thousands of hours deep into a live service game, and the studio has been gracious enough to answer most of them, so think of this as a bonus mini twab and let's get into it. And the first question they ask is, it looks like the cost of res and int mods have been changed, can you share any other changes? And then we have Rodney Thompson from Design Lead say there has been a general reduction of average armor mod costs across the board, with all non-stat modifying mods costing between 1 and 3 energy. Next they ask, will resilience damage resistance scale work the same way in Lightfall? Then Thompson says we've tuned the curve a bit. At the top end, tier 10 resilience will provide 30% damage reduction against combatants, down from 40% in the live game now, but we've also made the progression smoother, so at lower tiers you will get more value from resilience without feeling like you have to max out at tier 10 to get a benefit. Next they ask, is there an equivalent to the current Photomite mod that will trigger a damage buff when you pick up a Fire Sprite, Void Breach, Ionic Trace, or Stasis Shard? Next Thompson says there are leg armor mods that provide a bonus to weapon damage of a specific type while you have any stacks of armor charge, which will decay 1 charge at a time when you have one of these mods equipped. The base damage bonus is the equivalent of high energy fire 10%, but multiple copies of the mod can be stacked to increase the damage bonus further, with 3 copies of the mod 22% getting pretty close to Phantomite's current damage bonus. So there you have it. We're not going to have anything quite as strong as Phantomite in the current game, but we're going to be able to get pretty close. He also says unlike Phantomite, you can pick which damage type the bonus applies to, and this is not limited to matching your subclass type. You can even mix and match, say 2 mods that grant bonus to your solar weapons and 1 mod that grants bonus to your kinetic weapons as fits your loadout. Armor charge at its base comes from picking up orbs of power, however we have some mods that give you other ways of getting armor charge, and in season 20, one of the artifact perks will allow you to gain stacks of armor charge when picking up Fire Sprite. So that's pretty cool. Bungie just basically gave away one of next season's artifact mods and how it works, and in case you don't know, Fire Sprite is basically the equivalent of elemental wells for solar right now. That's what they're calling it next season. Next question is, do armor charge mods that have a passive effect see their charges decay at the same rate, or does it vary between mods? Then Thompson says it's all the same rate, and having multiple mods that give passive benefits do not cause charges to fall off faster. So even if you have a different passive benefit armor charge mod in every armor piece, you still will only decay 1 stack of armor charge every 10 seconds, or longer if you equip the time dilation mod, which extends the decay timer. The next question is, do Fire Sprite, Ionic Traces, Void Breaches, etc. all grant the same amount of ability energy? And Thompson says no, each is tuned for the damage type. So this is something we're going to have to go ahead and test out when it's available to us to see how it works and feels. Next question is, will weapons that already trigger elemental effects, aka Ager's Scepter can slow and shatter, Darcy causes jolt, now be able to stun corresponding champions when they apply those effects? And then Thompson goes, yes, anything that creates one of those keyword effects will work as a counter to the champions weak to them. And there you have it, there's even more ways to deal and stun champions, so keep an eye out for those keywords. The next question is, where weapons have different perk options, example choice of magazines, can the loadout manager save these accordingly? And then we have Xavier Derland Hollis, Design Lead, say yes, weapon perk choices are saved via loadouts. Next question is, will a loadout be able to include your ship, sparrow, emblem, ghosts, finishers, etc.? And then Tyson Green, creative director, says not at this time, but loadouts could expand to include some of those in the future, example finishers. So it looks like it's not going to have that customization level that DIM offers, so if you want to still have that in your game, basically continue to use DIM until this gets further updated, but you'll still have quick access to the basic loadout. The next question is it 10 loadout slots per guardian or per account? And then we have Green confirm for us here that it's per guardian, so we'll have 10 per guardian, which is a total of 30 builds we can make across all 3 characters, which is pretty good. The next question is, do you expect to add more loadout slots over time? And then Green says possibly, but we don't have plans to add more loadout slots just yet, but personally I think 10 to start off with is just fine. The next question is, how long is it likely to take to unlock all 10? And then Green says loadout slots are unlocked by completing guardian ranks, which we already basically knew about from the TWAB, and they say any existing character who has completed the New Light experience will have most slots unlocked immediately, with additional slots unlocked at higher ranks. New guardians will unlock them as they increase their rank. So basically Bungie wants all of your progression to be tied to your guardian rank, so the more you progress that, the more powerful you get and the more you unlock, etc. And that's kind of how our new progression system looks like. The next question is, you announced that the match game modifier is being removed from all high difficulty activities. What kind of activities will the modifier still be used in? And then Green says it may show up in special activities in the future where we want to deliberately tweak the gameplay in an unexpected expected direction, but no specific plans to do so at this time. Honestly, I'm totally fine seeing match game dip. I really could care less about it and hope it never comes back. And then lastly, they say thanks to all at Bungie involved in turning around those answers so fast. With Lightfall just over a month away, expect the information about those systemic changes to keep ramping up. Let me know what you most want to hear about, and I'll endeavor to get another set of questions answered before launch. So there you have it. That's some pretty cool information we just found out. If you guys want to go ahead and check the article out for yourself, I'll leave it down in the pinned comment section below. And while you're down there, go ahead and let me know which changes you're most excited about out of the ones we just found out about today here. And that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay frosty.